Yo, what's up, y'all? It's MMA Analyst here to do my preview for UFC Live. Vera versus Jones on Versus. Yo, I'm liking the idea, UFC free live Sunday night, but it's kind of strange, it seems like somebody over at Zuffa got things confused and they just ran with it, UFC free on Sunday, and coming up we got WEC costing $50 damn. But let's get right down to it. Main event, Brandon Vera versus Jon Jones. Let's talk about Brandon Vera coming off, a close loss to Randy Couture in a situation where a lot of people thought he could have won it based on damage and whatnot. But we need to really focus in that fight on, what we need to focus on is what didn't he do when he had an opportunity to potentially win the fight. He had Randy Couture, holding his side, falling to the ground type thing, and he, didn't jump on it the way he could have. He definitely seemed to be in a situation where the fight was in his grasp and he just didn't have that little bit of extra aggression or whatever it is. And that's basically what you could say has been happening with Brandon Vera basically since his Tim Sylvia fight. Not to say Tim Sylvia did anything to him, but prior to that, prior to his first loss, he was a pretty damn exciting guy, doing his thing, great striking, blah, blah, blah. And then, something's lost there. Something isn't there anymore. Something that used to be there, it doesn't appear to still be present. And, he's looking to find that. He's got wins over Krzysztof Szynski, Frank Mir, Mike Pat, Reese Andy, but he got the losses to Keith Jardine, Fabricio Verdum, Tim Sylvia, and Randy Couture. All of the better guys that he had actually faced, other than Frank Mir, he had, lost to at this point. So he's got to step that up. He can't just beat the guys that are tough fights. He's got to beat the guys that maybe people don't think he's supposed to beat. Who's he facing? He's facing Jon Bones Jones. This guy is, he's acting like he's the real deal, and he's looking like he's the real deal, and we'll see if he's the real deal, and this is the biggest test in his career. Right now, I want to say undefeated, but it's not true. He lost to Matt Hamill. He had 90 plus strikes unanswered from the mount, and 93 and 94 were illegal, and they're stop the fight. But hey, he didn't complain about it. He said, look, I did something illegal, give me the loss. He learned from his mistakes. But damn, he's got a great win over Jake O'Brien, a wrestler. He threw him around, submitted him. Stephan Bonner, he gassed a little bit in that fight, but still did his thing against Stephan Bonner, threw him around. Basically, Jon Bones Jones is unorthodox. He's got a different way of looking at everything, and I can't really hate on it. He's exciting, he's aggressive, he's everything that Brandon Vera used to be, and maybe too much for Brandon Vera right now. Unless Brandon Vera can get back into that aggressive mode. If he can get into the aggressive mode, watch out, because we're in for one hell of a fight. If not, Brandon Vera's going to get ran over. And I'm not sure that Brandon Vera is back yet. If he's back, we're in for a treat. But I think what's going to happen is Jon Bones Jones is just going to be bigger. He's going to be stronger. He's going to be more aggressive. And I think come middle to end of the second round, this fight's going to be over with Jon Jones winning by TKO. Second fight, Junior Dos Santos versus Gabriel Gonzaga. Gabriel Gonzaga coming off a win over Chris Terscherer, the hardest ball kick of MMA history. Kicked his cup so hard that, his cup runneth over. Before that, he had a loss to Shane Carwin, and that's really what I think is the most telling situation for this fight. You got a black belt in jiu-jitsu, strong, big, heavyweight. He's got Shane Carwin stunned. He's got him up against the cage. He's got him in side control. Or might have been half guard, but the point is black belt on top, Shane Carwin on bottom. And Shane Carwin was able to just get up and clackety-clack, hit him, boom, out. Another thing that I'm looking at is, what happened with his losses to Fabricio Verdum and Randy Couture. in both situations, it looked like, he was doing his thing, and then something bad went, and then all of a sudden, the heart, questionable heart. I don't like questioning people's heart, especially in fights. Especially when somebody got the nose all broke up against Randy, and Randy's leaning all over you. So that'll mess with a lot of people's heart. But I'm just saying, it seems like when the going gets tough, you know what I mean? I don't really know how much money I can put on Gabriel Gonzaga to get going when the going gets tough. I think he just kind of gets out. And I think that's the kind of situation that he's going to have to be able to overcome. He's going to have to be able to be in a tough situation and make it out. He's fighting Junior Dos Santos, is coming over knockout victories over, or TKO victories over Gilbert Yvel, Stefan Struve, Fabricio Verdun, Mirko Cro Cop. He's trains with Nogueira brothers, Black House. He's, definitely got his idea of what to do on the ground, although we haven't been able to see it. But you have to imagine he's not training with all those really good jiu-jitsu guys, and they're just ignoring the ground game. On the feet, though, that's where he gets his thing done. He's got a right, he's got a left. If he hits you with either, it's over. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to be able to dictate where the fight goes. I think he's going to be able to say, I want this fight on the feet. I'm going to stop it from going to the ground. If it does get to the ground, I think he'll be able to get back up. And then that'll just be something where Gabriel Gonzaga is going to say, damn, I got him down. Can I get him down again? I'm going to have to pick Junior Dos Santos by first or second round knockout. Czech Congo versus Paul Buentello. Czech Congo, one of the most just saddest stories of the UFC when it comes to just potential that's just not getting where it's supposed to be. He was kind of like Kevin Randleman back in the day, but at least Kevin Randleman was doing his thing, and he was, Czech Congo, they've been talking about for years about fixing his ground game. For years. This is back Carmelo Marrero, 2006, and I remember, Joe Rogan, if somebody can take this guy and just train him and no striking, just all ground game, this guy's gonna be a monster. And nothing's happened. Just keeps coming out. Sometimes his takedown defense looks alright, but for the most part, he just is a fish out of water on the ground. And because of that, he got knocked out, choked out against Frank Mir. Worried about the takedown, bow. That didn't tap. There's no bonus points for not tapping. When you don't tap and you go to sleep, who knows what you could do? Who knows what kind of fluids you got running that might just... Come on, don't embarrass yourself like that. Just tap. Cain Velasquez, he had Cain Velasquez out cold, and Cain Velasquez ended up in mount. So it's just a tough situation with Czech Congo. And in this fight, he's going to have to fight to stay in the UFC, I believe. It'll be his third loss in a row if he loses, and he'll be fighting Paul Buentello, the headhunter. Aptly named the headhunter, just knocks people out, takes people's heads off, home, away from them. That's what he does. Paul Buentello thinks that Czech Congo's not going to want to stand with him. I don't know if he's going to not want to stand with him, but I don't think he's going to just be completely ready to go out there on his third fight. This is the I could be out of the UFC fight. And he's bigger than Paul Buentello. I think that Congo might actually think about, let's try to take this to the ground. And I think with that kind of game plan, he won't be focused on what he needs to do, which is just get that W. And instead, he's afraid of what happens if he gets another L. That stands for loss. And I think that all of that, whatever, is actually going to cause us to see a very tentative Czech Congo. I mean, this is just a prediction. I'm not telling the future. It's a little bit too, I'm looking a little too much into it if you ask me. But that's what I think is going to happen. I think Paul Buentello is going to catch, he's going to catch Czech Congo in the middle of a game plan. I think he's going to be strategizing in the middle of the game and just, wake up somewhere with his head gone. Got to call Paul Buentello, say, yo, give me back my head. James Irvin is back after a loss to homeboy Anderson Silva. And also a fight with, I think it was Oxycontin. I don't want to say somebody was all jacked up on Oxycontin, but it was a drug. It might have been that one. So I'm just saying, he was dealing with addiction. He's back. He's over that. Props to him. Don't do drugs, y'all. And before that, he's got knockout wins over or TKO over Houston Alexander. He lost to Thiago Silva, but basically he lost to some tough ass dudes. You know what I mean? Anderson Silva and Thiago Silva. You know what I mean? You can't really hate on him for that. He likes to bang. Straight, plain, simple. He likes to go up there. He likes to throw punches. He likes to bang. And he's fighting another dude, Alessio Sakara, who is pretty much on that same vibe. He likes to go out there and throw them hands. He's coming off of win over Talis Latis. Talis Latis got cut from the UFC. Damn. Joey Vadepo, head kick knockout. Before that, lost to Chris Lieben. TKO knee to Houston Alexander. TKO punches to Drew McFedries, and submission loss to Dean Lister. But I think what's going to happen in this situation is they're going to meet in the middle. Here's one. Let's say this is Sakara, and here's Irvin, and Alessio Sakara is going to get knocked out. I think when Irvin hits him with that bam, when he clacks him on that jaw, I think the fight's over right there. Maybe the first, second solid shot. James Irvin can hit hard. And that's what I think is going to happen with that fight. I think it's going to be a quick one. It's going to be, just a monsoon of fists. And then Alessio Sakara laying on the ground. And Joey Rogan, you're back. It's great to have you back. Da-da-da-da. And then, James Irvin, may shed a tear. You know what I mean? Like, think about the path he had to take to get back to the UFC. Let's get the undercard. I got Clay Guida over Shannon Gugarty. I've got Vladimir Medashchenko over Elliot Marshall. Dwayne Bang Ludwig over Derek Elkins. John Howard over Daniel Roberts. Brendan Schaub, I'm going to pick him over Chase Gormley. I'm picking Mike Pierce over Julio Paulino. And I'm picking Eric Schaefer over Jason Brills. UFC live, Vera versus Jones. First time on Versus. I'm feeling it. I'm liking it. Dream. It's coming up like the very next day. I got my man Andre Dita. He's going to be fighting KJ Noons. KJ, you better think about going for a takedown. Don't go out there and try and strike with Dita. Anyways, y'all. I'm working on some serious stuff, y'all. I'm 1 week out. Oh, working so damn hard, y'all. MMA, it's important. Peace.